something we all understand. The revolution will be televised.
Yes, today, as we start the show, this one mic. Yes, today, as we start the show, this one mic.
Chi-Town Hammers. Chi-Town Hammers.
Something.
People have slept on. I only get political here about Will.
He's playing the game.
All right, welcome to One Mic. We're going to get into it. The brackets are busted, but we don't care. We still going to do the show because we just got to do the show. Everybody's stuff looking tethered, crazy. We'll get into it. A lot going on in the game. But before we get started, let me jump in with my guys. We got Darnell Kirkland Jr. What's up, man? How you doing, man? A lot happening in the world of sports this week. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm looking at the little preview for one of the games coming on, and they showing Charles Barkley with the different haircuts, and this thing's hilarious. They got Chuck with a high top fade.
Was that like 1982?
No, they like a barbershop, and they just like shuffling his head through like different haircuts. They have him with dreadlocks and like all kinds of stuff. But yeah, that's
we got.
I'm ready to get into it.
Yeah, we got a lot going on. How you doing, Hammer? How you doing? How's you doing, Chi-Town?
I'm doing well, except for stop picking Gonzaga. So I saw him get whooped a year ago in the Indy, and I should have known better. But I thought the Chet Holmgren, man, he got to learn how to play defense, man. He had a couple, those vertical calls. Just he's poor. I mean, yeah, this was poor defense, man. And that Nimrod was his name. He was awful. 1-9, 1-10, pitiful, man. So yeah, he deserved to lose. So
yeah. Chet kind of light, but Darnell, I think we were talking about that, or someone was saying that. I mean, he's a shot blocker, but he's not really he's not a body. He's not taking up space, and they could root him out. And man, Muscleman, his teams take on his personality.
Yeah, that was me that said that.
They're just tough. They get after it. Yeah. They're gritty,
like his dad was, man.
Yeah, it's like the bully. It's like the bully on the block, right? Gonzaga seems like they play well when they can be that bully, but when somebody hit them in the mouth, can they come back, right? Timmy will have all those antics when he's scoring and running down and they're running it up, but when it gets gritty, can you return and get that grit going? And they don't have that person. They don't have that dog. But Arkansas got a lot of dogs. They get after you.
They're in a better conference too. WCC is not a good conference.
No, I would say that. We saw some good players. We saw St. Mary's play. They got some quality there. That's not the issue. And they play a tough out of conference.
Not stacked with the SEC, dog. Not stacked with the ACC.
But look at Gonzaga's schedule, the out of conference schedule. They play nothing but top teams. That's not the issue. That's you just got to come and play. That ain't got nothing to do with the conference. They got a pretty good conference. Plus, they play a strong out of conference schedule. That had nothing to do with it. They've got to show up and show out. That got nothing to do with it. They got to, when it gets scrappy, they got to play.
A lot of folks picked them, so I wasn't alone. But I ain't no pool, but But
I'm gonna be giving that belt out to somebody.
ESPN, so I'm doing well.
I'm gonna be giving that belt out.
I want my belt before it's given, though. I want to wear it before. I deserve to wear it before it's pulled over.
Yeah, we might just have to take a picture with it. I thought you were gonna come back. I thought you were gonna be a double winner. I said Hammer gonna save us, and then down goes Hammer.
Man.
Without.
I know who. Well, yeah, I know someone picked Duke or someone. I didn't look who picked who, but yeah. I know I'm 3 in the sheet integrity. And then who's Miami? Who's Miami made, by the way? Who's that?
I don't even know who's up in there. I got to look, man. Darnell went to the wrong side. He went into the wrong tournament.
I was shocked to see him up in there.
Yeah, so we got all kinds of things going on. All right, we'll get to open mic. Lots happening in free agency. Tyreek Hill makes his way to Miami. You know, he out there showing out. He got paid, but Kansas City, I think Kansas City won this one. I mean, Darnell and I were talking on the phone early on. I just feel like, man,
They lost
Kansas
big
City
time.
found a
They
way to
lost
fix
big
the
time.
plane while they moving.
They lost big time.
In a game of football, and
No.
I
You gonna get MVS? MVS gonna be a number one receiver? MVS is gonna be
I don't think
your
it
number one
matters with
receiver?
Kansas City when you got
They got
Mahomes.
Juju Smith-Schuster too.
Oh yeah, Juju,
Schuster,
like he's dependable.
Yeah,
Terrible trade, man. You pay Tyreek Hill. You got 6 suspects.
You know how many draft
and you
picks
got
they got?
a dog and
you know how many draft picks
they can all be
Plus
suspects.
they talented.
A lot of draft picks. David Mayfield was number 1 pick.
Look,
So what?
all they need.
You got a guy who was
Mahomes is the orchestrator.
You gave him
Mahomes
away.
is the orchestrator.
In the
Darnell,
prime
talk
of
about
your QB's
hold
career,
on. Darnell,
ever, man.
Darnell, take them through your. Take them through your. Let's bring the GM in. Darnell.
Analytical, all you
hold on,
all those picks can be garbage.
Darnell,
most NFL, most draft picks fail.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Tyreek Hill succeeded. Tyreek Hill, the best in the business.
They had Tyreek Hill. They didn't win.
Some picks?
They need more. They got to fill some holes.
That's the dumbest thing going.
They got to fill some holes. They got plenty of talent on that team.
I want to hear about championships.
They got plenty of talent on that team.
I want to hear about Lombardis. I don't hear about no picks.
Well,
I don't hear about
Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill was coming with the hammy. How many games did Tyreek Hill miss with the hammy?
That's the dumbest thing going.
How many games did Tyreek Hill miss with the hammy? How many teams did he miss with the hammy?
I don't give a damn. They win a chip
with
them. They win a chip. You gonna tell me MVS, Juju?
We know your position, Hammer. We know your position. Darnell.
They'll never win another Super Bowl. You can put in the bank. They will never win another Super Bowl.
We heard you.
They will never win another Super Bowl. Never, ever.
All right, we know Max Kellerman. We know.
Never, ever.
They've gotten to the cliff, Max Kellerman. They at the cliff. They're about to fall off the cliff, Max. Whoa. All right. Come back.
I ain't Max Kellerman. I'm Carl Bernard Hampton. Don't insult me.
With the same outcome. 4 years later, you can be like,
black
well,
man from Southside Chicago. I'm not a Jewish man from New York City.
I thought they were coming off the cliff. All right, Darnell, we talked a little bit about the picks. What's your insight on these picks? You had a little mock draft you did?
All right, so this is my take. This is my take. It's an unpopular take. It's a hot take, but I believe that Kansas City has the opportunity to come out of this trade a better team. To be honest with you, because they have 5 picks in the top 100. Their 6th pick is at 103, and they have 12 picks in this draft. I did a little mock draft myself for them. Went ahead and see what I could do. I didn't see them taking Marquez Valdez-Scantling before I did the mock draft because I picked a couple of wide receivers myself in this mock draft. The way I did it was because they have back-to-back picks in the first round, 29 and 30. So I went ahead and got Kyrie Elam, the corner out of Florida, because they lost their number 1 corner in free agency. So I gave him Kyrie Elam. Then I gave him Louis Seen, the safety from Georgia. I gave him Justin Ross and David Bell at receiver. I gave him Tariq Woolen from UTSA. I gave him Najee Sanders, Tyreek Smith, Chris Paul from Tulsa, another Senior Bowl guy. Kennedy Brooks, running back from Oklahoma. Slade Bolden, Tyler Goodson. Look, there's 12 picks. You have such an opportunity. You can you don't have to go exactly the way I did, but there's so many different ways where you can pivot, where you can plug all the holes that they have in their roster. They've already fixed their offensive line to a certain degree in the past.
You ain't plugging Tyreek Hill. You ain't replacing Tyreek Hill.
It's not about replacing Tyreek Hill. It is about
replacing Tyreek Hill. No. Tyreek Hill is the most dangerous guy in the NFL.
He is the most dangerous guy in the NFL.
You have all the picks galore.
But you have Patrick Mahomes. You there's other ways that you can like they're never gonna be hurting to score points, right? If you have Patrick Mahomes is the system. Like you still have Travis Kelce, you still have a speedster and McCole
At
Hardman.
32 years old, that's another story. At 32 years old,
Yeah,
you
but
gave
he's
away a
a tight end.
28-year-old
Tight end, he's
superstar
always going to be big, and he
for
always
some
going to have his
picks.
catch radius. So that part's not going away from him. That part's not going to leave him. And on top of that, you can pivot other ways. Wide receiver, you have Juju Smith-Schuster. You can draft another different type of receiver. Because one thing I saw, like with Kansas City in the past, all their receivers looked alike. Like they had Travis Kelce, and then like they try to model off of.
You want to change who won you a Super Bowl. That's really smart. You want to change who won you a Super Bowl. That's what you want to do. That's the lie. You want to change who won you a Super Bowl for some picks, for some maybes, could be's, might be's.
But the thing about it is, they obviously last year they needed more than Tyreek Hill. See, they needed more than him, so it wasn't enough. So
they needed some blockers. They need to trade Tyreek. They need to go get some blockers.
But the thing about it is, they need things all over the field. You need to win more than just one way. And what they did, they said, "Hey, we think we still got the best quarterback in the league. We still got weapons to make things. We still can run the football now. We can still do all these things. Plus, you can add. This is a very deep draft, so you can add some pieces that you need to. Where this draft isn't deep is at quarterback, but it's deep everywhere else. So you got all, and we've seen what happened with first-year receivers already in the league. We've already seen it. We've seen people make a splash already. The receiver spot is the one place we've seen people make a splash early on. So that's not going to hurt you. They have confidence in that. I got a feeling it's going to work out for both teams, but it gives them in a division where they're going to need some flexibility. In a division, they're going to need some flexibility. They're going to need to figure out more ways to win.
Give Miami either. I mean, they need to trade. They need to get a quarterback. You get Tyreek Hill. I mean, you don't have a quarterback. First of all, Tua sucks.
Didn't they pick up
they should have gotten Matt Ryan. I mean, Tua's awful. If you give away all those picks, you need you a solid quarterback. Tua ain't it. I'm sorry. Tua's suspect with a capital S.
Well,
one thing about Tua is after this trade, especially the way they've been building this offense, they're giving them the same type of weapons that he had when he was at Alabama. So they're going to be able to play
college football, bro. We talking about pro. We ain't talking about no college. We talking about pro.
I'm talking about skill set and style of play that he should be successful in. One thing that we see from him in the NFL is he hasn't had the protection, to throw the ball down the field. But now they got a number one offensive tackle, so where now they can do that quick game stuff because it's not necessarily about throwing a bomb to a guy like Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is a guy who he can take a slant for 70 yards. So
yes.
Miami will have a new quarterback.
Now you're letting Tua do what he does best and just distribute the ball. He doesn't have to drive the ball down the field like he's Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen. He can play within himself. And that's why I think Miami's doing in their offseason moves.
And they've already closed the gap on the Patriots.
No one give them the ball.
They've already closed the gap on the Patriots. Probably they putting their sights on Buffalo. So we'll see. But we got to see what the coach does. But this is what it's about.
They can see all they want to. They ain't beating Buffalo.
Well,
they ain't beating Buffalo. Buffalo might beat themselves. NFL.
Some teams look good one year. They go back to look at something.
Just like Kansas City beat themselves. Just like Kansas City beat themselves last year. Cincinnati, they beat themselves. So we'll see. Like I said before, but like I said, I don't like the deal at all. I mean, I agree with Stephen A on this one. It's baffling. There's got to be some backstory. I was texting somebody. They're talking about the things in the past. Again, he made a mistake, man. I was watching some video, not to change something about Mark Few at this DUI and you say made mistake. People make mistakes. We all make mistakes. But
Yeah,
again,
but
in the window, you gave your quarterback a $500 million. You give away his best weapon.
Something's going on in that Kansas City locker room. And if certain behaviors were cool when we was winning, but if it's eroding and keeping us difficult to win, this is the thing the Steelers didn't figure out. When the cast talking the most junk is that
the defense kept on winning. D. Wills, they put up the point defense.
But what I'm saying is, the locker room matters. The locker room matters. You already heard him in his press conference.
And won a chip. You need to get rid of Spike.
You already heard him in his press conference. I'm going to prove I'm the fastest. Sometimes your ego get out in front of you. That stuff where people wear thin with folks. And if you think you can win, we go. Hey,
he can talk all junk you want to because he backs it up.
Hey, Hammer, what I'm
look at his stats.
We gonna find out.
First years, 6 years are unprecedented.
We gonna find out.
He go Hall of Fame right now. He retired.
There's a lot of cats who go to Hall of Fame. AB was gonna go to Hall of Fame.
Ash Barty retired right now and be in the Hall of Fame.
AB was on the track to go to Hall of Fame.
AB got mental health issues.
But I'm saying you don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
AB is sick.
You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You don't think they would have kept him?
I know when you stripping like you in a strip club on the sideline, you got a mental health issue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but
I ain't no psychiatrist, no psychologist.
You don't know what they know. But I'm telling you this. I got Patrick Mahomes. I'm cool. I'm giving me some more stuff. We're going to see. We're going to learn. We're going to see what's going on.
I got something to say about what Carl said.
And then you get MVS a bunch of money, too. That's another thing, too. That's a dumb thing, too. This guy is not produced as far as catches. He's got a nice, lofty, yards per catch, and they're gonna say because they threw to Devontae, he's not a durable receiver.
Well, you never know.
I'm glad the Bears
totally different offense in Green Bay. This is a totally different offense in Green Bay.
But I got something to say about what Carl said as well. And I forgot. Keep going.
Carl out here will run a filibuster on us. We're gonna be all right with it. We'll keep it moving.
Yeah,
but there's a lot happening.
I just think I saw the deal. I was stunned. I was like, it was like the Packer deal. But the Packers I can deal with because I know Devontae wanted out, and you'll probably hear Tyreek Hill wanted out.
Oh yeah. It came back.
But the bottom line though with the Chiefs, you got this guy what for a 5th round pick. I mean, like I said, it's a great haul. In like I said, if all the things work, but we all know most draft picks fail. Am I right? Most draft picks fail.
But for the past few years, they failed.
The defense was the reason why they lost in the playoffs. And you said
you go 4 or 5 defense. You don't trade away your best.
You said their defense is raggedy, correct?
You don't trade away your best.
The Chiefs' defense is raggedy, correct? And they're not going to get Tyrann Mathieu was leaving in free agency, right? That's their best player on defense. They lost their best corner and their best safety in free agency, right? So how are you going to improve that defense? Because if the defense was a problem last year, it's going to be a problem this year too. Because all the teams around them are improving on offense.
You draft better, first of all. Hold
it.
First round.
Carl, let him make it.
Go ahead. I'll be quiet. Go
ahead.
So how do you improve your defense? Them not one. They opened up,
I don't know what the cap situation was.
Cap space. By trading Tyreek Hill, now they have the most cap space out of all the teams right now. And on top of that, they've given themselves more swings in the draft to where now you can pick more guys to fill more holes because you have more holes. Like you can pick a safety, you can pick a corner, you can pick an edge rusher. You can add talent right away to help this defense. And you're always going to be able to score points because you have Patrick Mahomes.
And teams that just improve their offense. Teams that improve the offense. Some of these teams improved defensively, right? They gotten better defensively. Some of these teams in your own division.
Buffalo, who's going to beat them now? Yeah,
but even the Raiders got better defensively. Even the Raiders got better defensively. So
Raiders got better defensively.
You see what I'm saying? Not just offensively. These teams have got better defensively.
Yeah,
So
they might mess around and be fourth in the AFC West. That's nothing.
so
You
you,
gonna trade
you
away
can't just
AFC West stocked up this offseason. You gonna trade away your best weapon? When Denver got Russell, when Las Vegas got Devontae, Chandler Jones, re-signed Max Crosby.
because they got a lot of
and then
yes, Tyreek is a
the
great
Chargers
weapon,
got Khalil
but they
Mack,
got a lot of
got
other
JC
weapons.
Dawson. You don't give away your best player, your second
got a
best
lot of
player.
other
That's
weapons.
stupid. That's what that is.
You got a lot of other
If
weapons.
you could get 4 starters out of it, you could.
Yes,
They're suspect. They
They
might
could
be.
get 4 starters.
What I want to do with you, brother, is we need to do a show and break down one of these drafts. And I want to see all the failures that happen on the board, on your big board, all the guys who are supposed to be the man. I want to break down a draft. That's what I'm going to do. I want a show dedicated to we break down a draft. And I give you most of these suckers are out of the damn league. They're
they can't
4
all
years
fail
out.
because a number of these guys are also successful.
Let's break down a draft.
You can't just say they're all failing, or we wouldn't have good teams. Like
I didn't say
you
all.
can't
I
say people
said
are failing.
most of them. I said most.
No, they're not. Most of them are failing because most of these
most.
rosters got good starters. So not everybody's failing. Like that's the narrative that people might not be succeeding at the level that folks hope to see, but not everybody is failing. That's not how it works.
Well, again, that's not what defies logic. You have a draft to replace people,
you
right?
Wouldn't have as many of these quality
you have a
players
draft to
as you
replace
have.
people, right?
You wouldn't have as many quality players as you have. Not everybody's failing.
Again, half of them fail. Most draft picks fail, man. Even Mark Kuiper tell you that.
Failing based on what?
All these guys.
They're first round draft picks. They didn't make a Pro Bowl. Is failure? Hold on. Let me say this. Is failure a first round draft pick? Hold up. Is failure a first round draft pick?
Let's break down
the
2017 draft.
Hold it.
Show. Let's break down the 2017 draft. And let's see who's
Let me point out. Let me make my point. Is failure a first round draft pick? Maybe they only made 2 Pro Bowls, but they started for 10 years. Is that a failure?
No, but I'm talking about the whole draft.
But I'm saying that's the nuance of it. Like people had hopes. And you say, wow, we thought this guy was on his way to be a Hall of Famer. But damn, he did start the league for 7 years. Maybe he didn't make a Pro Bowl, but he was a solid player.
Yeah,
that's not a failure. That just means
Myles Garrett balling, okay?
Yeah, Myles Garrett.
Myles Garrett balling.
But there's going to be a whole bunch of guys who are going to contribute to winning teams.
Suspect.
So the problem I have is the evaluation is, are they a Hall of Famer or not? That's the evaluation of failure.
No, I'm talking about solid. You got in this draft, you had Rasul Douglas, who is
there's a whole bunch of players who've been solid. There's a whole bunch of players who've been solid. But they were
cats like who's Lionel Hill?
We didn't pay for solid.
Lionel Hill, he's out of the league. One of your Michigan cats, he's out of the league. Lionel Hill, who's he? I know
but there's a number of guys who are still in the league.
Who's Lionel Hill?
You can always cherry pick 1 or 2 players.
I ain't cherry picking 1 or 2. Larry Ojanobi failed physical just now. Dwayne Smoot, who's that brother? He's with the
Dwayne Smoot still playing?
So I'm just saying, let's go through the whole draft. And like I said
but I'm saying
I'd rather have a Tyreek Hill than some such.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill's a great player, but they had Tyreek Hill for 2 years and lost twice. Because you need more than Tyreek Hill.
But they won 1, and a lot of people don't win 1.
Well, you win 1, but you're trying to win more than 1. And sometimes you got to pivot.
Man, again, bruh, again. You know Dan Marino school. He went to 1, lost, never went back.
Tyreek
you
Hill
gotta win. We have a chance to win, man.
Hold it. Tyreek Hill
play around with again.
Tyreek Hill ain't Tyreek Hill without a quarterback.
I come from the Rams school. Go get it. Go get it now. Go get it now.
Tyreek Hill is not Tyreek Hill without somebody who gets the ball.
Rams won. Go get it now. Trade away all those draft picks, those suspects.
Mahomes is a big factor.
Now.
Mahomes is a big factor of Tyreek Hill being Tyreek Hill. Mahomes throwing
That's
no
true.
look
I
passes
ain't
across
denying
the
that.
field.
But Tyreek Hill's also a great player as well. So just wouldn't have done.
But
Again, like I
Mahomes,
said,
so you
let's
saying
break
Mahomes not
down the
going to be great?
2017
But
draft.
hold it. Are you
Let's
telling
break
me
down.
Mahomes is not going to be great? Oh, so
What's it now?
Mahomes going to fall off. Mahomes going to fall off like Brady.
Oh, Mahomes is a great player, but he could be great.
Then what we talking about?
With
What we talking about?
with Tyreek Hill, right?
Hold it.
Greater.
Will you say that Kansas City not going to be a top 5 offense? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying.
Then what are we talking about?
Could be
then why does it matter?
Hold it.
If Kansas City's still going to be a top 5 offense, then what you talking about?
Because they beat themselves last year. That's the reason why, D. Wills.
They beat themselves because they didn't have enough. They beat themselves because they weren't balanced. That's why they beat themselves.
Yeah, they need to get a running back. I agree.
So if they can be balanced and have a better defense and still be a top 5 offense, then what are we talking about?
So you trade away your best player.
It don't matter. If you're better in other areas of your team and you're still producing at the same level when you had that player, what are we talking about? You just said they could be a top 5 offense.
Give away your best player, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Hold it. You still missed my point. You thinking like a fan, not a GM.
I'd rather be number uno.
You thinking like a fan, not a GM. If at the end of the day your
I'm
offense
thinking about the Rams trade away a bunch of these,
but your defense is better.
Got a championship, so don't tell me I'm acting like
and your special teams is better.
This is what I'm talking about.
The models out there.
After the Super Bowl, it's a copycat league.
Yes,
I agree.
Whoever
you copy the Rams.
Whoever wins,
you copy the Rams, and you trade picks away, and you get veteran players. You don't do the other way around.
You would have never said that.
You don't do the other way around, right? That's not.
No, you would have never said that.
The champion is trading away players, right?
You would have never said that.
The champion is trading away a bunch of picks, right? To get Von Miller, to get Jalen Ramsey, to get Matthew Stafford, right? So
and if
you're going to go against the champ?
Plays went the opposite way, you'll be singing a completely different tune.
That's right.
Yeah, that's not how you run your team. You can't run your team on 3 plays. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the game is the game.
Paid the man. They should have paid the man. The man deserved his money. Should have paid the man.
Hey, everybody.
I'm glad Miami got paid.
They let him go where he wanted to go. They had They originally.
I'm not talking about that. That's the point.
They originally agreed.
He should be in Kansas City. That's what it should be.
They let him go to the crib.
They should trade away some of those picks. Yeah,
if you pay everybody, because they made some mistakes as well. They paid Frank Clark a big contract. You know.
Yeah.
Frank Clark was a mistake.
He hasn't performed. So I'm saying, but if you pay everybody big money, then you have the problem where
you ain't paying everybody big money. They let that cornerback go. You let people. They messed up on Edward Helaire too.
But that was a bad pick. That's a product of the salary cap. You can't pay everybody big money because you're football is a game of
you got hit
on both sides of the ball.
3 through 7. You got to hit through those picks. You got to hit those picks, man.
But at the end of the day,
Ham. Well, now you got.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Darnell. Hampton. At the end of the day,
that's all I had to say.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we all agree that they still could be a top 5 offense. So if they can still be a top 5 offense,
if all the picks hit.
I'm
saying I would rather go with the sure thing than the maybe.
But then it depends on do you trust them? Like,
yes.
if you're the Miami Dolphins, it makes sense to trade away picks because we know they can't draft.
Oh, again, I'm not talking about the Dolphins as far as saying. I think
it was a hypothetical. I'm saying if you're the Dolphins, you're the Seahawks. I can't trust myself with these picks. But if I was a different organization like the Browns or like somebody else, you know what I'm saying? Like
I don't think Chris Greer's that bad, man. Chris Greer's made some good picks.
Browns 6 picks in the top 105.
They traded him away.
Give me some bones.
He made some good picks, but no, again, like I said, the main thing about it is, it could be a tremendous deal. They could hit like Herschel Walker and be like, King Kong. But most likely, if you look at it's going to be
man,
some good,
this draft,
some bad.
We've already seen the way this draft is going, and they've gotten better at identifying talent on some of this stuff. And some of the players they can get. I mean, and fill some of the holes. And they might use these players to trade for some talent. So you don't know. They got a lot to play with. They got flexibility. With the offense,
I
they're
hope they
still going
do
to
that.
produce.
I hope they do. I hope they do that. I
Yeah.
hope they trade some of these picks for some players.
But it's better to have flexibility than not when you gone for the last 2 years and got beaten the Super Bowl.
Trade him
right?
trade him for DK Metcalf. Bring him in there. He'd be great. He'd be great.
And
with
then you let
phenomenal.
Cincinnati come and beat you. So they got a lot of rethinking to do.
It's a shame.
Right? They got a lot of rethinking to do.
Again, like you said, a blind squirrel can find nut. They beat him that one particular time. You play a game 9 out of 10 times.
Regular season too.
Well, that's true. It was at home, and it was again the bottom.
You beat him twice.
What happened? Again, that defense was raggedy, and the defense let him down.
But you forget, Hammer. They started out struggling. Hammer, they started out struggling. Everybody was questioning them.
They did.
Even with your boy.
I agree. Then they hit. But they hit stride with my boy too, didn't they?
But no, they started out struggling. That means folks catching up. Folks catching up. Folks catching up. You got to see the turn before everybody else does. You got self-scout. So the thing about it is we're gonna get it.
Trying to outthink. That's the right. Trying to outthink the room.
You know the good thing about this?
Big Red trying to outthink the room.
The good thing about this?
And that's when you get caught. When you
try
to be a savant instead of just being a regular guy and doing some common sense.
A good thing about this?
I'd rather have Tyreek Hill. I'm sorry.
The good thing about this is we're gonna get the answer. We're gonna get the answer.
Very hard picks. I give them that. It's a great deal as far as picks. They got some great picks. I mean, I especially considering the fact that they got a fifth round. It was a great deal as far as you would call talent development, because they turn a fifth round pick into a bunch of picks. It's great. But again, the bottom line is that I'd rather have Tyreek Hill all day.
Well, everybody loves Tyreek.
All day.
You know, everybody loves Tyreek. They love Tyreek around the locker room. They love everything else. I love winning better. And if I gotta do whatever I gotta do, and if he's my best asset,
you
be able to bridge and build it longer, then I got to let him go. If
Tyreek Hill plays defense, is that what you trying to tell me?
Huh?
Tyreek Hill's Deion Sanders. You got to play both sides of the ball.
He got to do something.
But you have to if you have a thin roster.
If I got a thin roster, I got to get bodies.
If Tyreek Hill was on a max,
they need to get a runner. You know what they need to do. You are great football. They need to get a running game. Let me finish. They need to get a running game.
Everybody else is going to be
more balanced to keep the defense off the field, and they need to improve the defense. But you got the best defense in the world. I can tell you from a child standpoint, if your defense is on the damn field too long, you had the best defense in the world. They're human beings. They're basically going to break down. I've seen that with my team before they got red pace. Where the best defense is wasted because they're in the damn field 35 minutes a game and they're tired. And they're not cyborgs. They're human beings.
Well, you go however it is, you're gonna find your balance. So we're about to do it. Now, hey, NBA was hot. The Grizzlies stepped up.
Great conversation, though.
Yeah, great conversation. NBA time. The Grizzlies was on the spotlight last night. Without Ja Morant, and they came to play. Them cats. Brooklyn made a run. Kyrie is Kyrie. I'm done talking about Kyrie on the court. I was telling Darnell this earlier. I'm accepting his greatness, and I ain't got nothing else to say. I'm just done with that. Kyrie's Kyrie, and the mayor knew he got to do something because he had been voted out. Between the Yankees and Kyrie, they had to do it. So the Brooklyn is going to be back to normal, but them Grizzlies, I was talking to Darnell about this earlier. They feel like a college team. The energy, the way they support each other, but they get at it. They for real. People can underestimate them if they want to, but they are 15-2 without Ja Morant, and them some ballers. They got depth. They get at you. They ain't playing. They ain't even playing. So we got that happening. We got Spoelstra and Butler going toe to toe like it's a battle royale out of Miami. They feeling the pressure. They feeling the pressure down there in Miami. They got some losses going on. The East is shaking up. Your team in Chicago took it on the chin. They got baptized. What's going on in the hoop game?
Did we lose
Hammer? What's going on in Chi-Town?
Did we lose the Pelicans?
You got a lot to say about Kansas City. Well, tell me about what's going on in Chi-Town.
What's going on in Chi-Town? What's going on in Chi-Town is that I mean, again, we really have skipped a step in the development of a championship roster. The injuries have just been too hard to bear, and then without DeRozan, we call him Debo here. We're not going to win with it. And also, the thing too now is that Levine's hurt. They've been keying on DeRozan. They shut DeRozan down. DeRozan ain't shooting these 3-pointers to win games anymore. And our defense has been absolutely exposed. It's been, we need Lonzo back. Patrick Williams looks nice, but he still is not, basketball ready as far as getting minutes. And I'm tired of this new style of basketball. We got these fall fours, I like to call them Javonte Green. Javonte Green needs to be on the bench. They need to go. I like Olds. They need to go with Tristan Thompson and Vooch in the post and get some rebound because we can kill on the boards. We don't have a defensive presence, and we need to get Lonzo's probably not coming back. He has setback, but the bottom line is that our defense is trash, and that's what's happening. And then our offensive game, like I said before, we don't have that post player that's going to help us. And also, we're not shooting the three. We got to get some 3-point shooters too. I mean, we cannot do the old school mid-range game with DeRozan, which is one reason why I didn't like the DeRozan signing. I mean, I like it now, but now it's being exposed where you don't have like you talk about last night with the Grizzlies. You had Bane, Brooks, right? You got all these guys that can shoot the three. You got to shoot the three in the modern NBA. You're going to lose. You have to. And so the Bulls are not shooting the three. They're not getting the defense they need. And so, yeah, again, we might be a seed and be in the play-in and lose. So it's been unfortunate. But COVID injuries happen. But we expect the Bulls to be this way. But so it's been let down that way. But again, it's been we got crushed by Milwaukee. And I don't know what's happening with the Pelicans tonight, but I wouldn't be surprised if we lose that one as well. But that is a sad situation here in Chicago. But again, I'm happy the fact that we're competitive again. We're at least we're relevant now. We weren't relevant back in the day. And
I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
Do you really believe that Tristan Thompson is a post player?
For us, yeah. We're losing. But for us,
he's
yeah.
a big.
I mean, it depends on
post player.
The rosters depend on what you have right now. And the bottom line is that, Tristan Thompson at 15 minutes, just not Javonte Green playing the 4 makes no sense.
So,
I mean, I'm going to stare right there. Levine went off. Kobe White went off. But we gave up 116 points. We can't play defense, man.
So I'm gonna tell you.
Javonte Green ain't no 4.
It's Javonte Green 4. DeMar DeRozan is the post player, and so if you have Vucevic and Tristan Thompson on the courts, there's gonna be no space for.
No, because Vooch can shoot the 3. Vooch is a good shooter. A good shooter. We talking about
Tristan Thompson is a good shooter.
No, I said Vooch, not Tristan Thompson. You want Vooch to play high post, and you want Tristan to get down low, and that's what you want to do. You want to get that. So I'm telling you, but Javonte Green, I take Patrick Williams over Javonte Green, but Javonte Green has to be off the court. He's a good second wave, second string player. I'm proud of brother how he's made his career, but him starting the 4 is a joke. I mean, it just they look in their lips every time they see him. They tear him up.
Chicago.
He's killing us. Defensively killing us. Defensively killing us. But like I said, we need something bigger than Javonte Green. And they played Tristan and Vooch together a few runs. It's not been bad, man. I don't know why. Again, I know why. Again, they want to have this more fluid type of European 4, but at 6'5", Javonte Green ain't the answer, bro. It just ain't the answer, man.
So we're sitting here. This is RSG1 Mike. We talking about the Chicago Blues. Hampton is sharing with the Blues. It's like it's like
we upset here because again,
Chicago.
Bruh,
it's like Buddy Guy don't come to the set on us. We got Harmonica Hayes in the house. The Chicago Blues is playing. They was on such a high note, and now they falling like Cinderella. Glass slipper done fell off. The chair the chariot done turned
You see
into
what happened, right?
a
You
pumpkin.
got Valanciunas, Jackson Hayes. I mean, we can't guard them. I mean, you got Jackson Hayes and Valanciunas in the same lineup together with Herb Jones. We're getting killed on the line with Graham and McCollum killing us. They have 53 together. And and was it Graham at plus 25, killing us. So I mean, that's the thing about it, is that we were missing our best defender in Lonzo Ball. And like I said, we getting killed defensively, giving up 118 points. It's a disgrace.
They'll balance it out. They'll pull it back together. So
playing
Darnell,
small lineups.
So Darnell, talk to us about the Grizzlies.
And my man,
we gonna leave Chicago alone. They gonna do their thing.
Go.
Darnell, talk to us about Grizzlies when you watch them. What do they? What do you like about them? Do you see? Are they for real? Do they show you something? What do you feel about these Grizz?
So I don't know what to do with the Grizzlies, because it seemed like they played just as good, if not better, when Ja Morant's not even playing. And I said myself, Ja Morant is my MVP. But it seemed like they never lose when Ja Morant doesn't play. So, like, I don't know. This team has a culture, and this team has a certain, they have a certain way that they play, no matter who's on the court. And that is a real testament to their coach and the overall culture of the team and the organization in of itself. Because, you hear stories that Tony Allen and Zach Randolph, they still come to practice every now and again. And they just feeding into that culture as well, that Coach Taylor is instilling.
Jenkins,
and Taylor Jenkins, they play, like you said, they play like a college team. Like they're a deep team, very deep team, and they're a team full of guys that have one, chips on their shoulders, and two, these are guys that they're young, but they've spent time in college and they've been coached before. Like you got guys like Dylan Brooks that has that spent his time at Oregon. You have guys like Tyus Jones that has been coached at Duke. You have guys like Desmond Bain that paid his dues in college playing at TCU. Mm-hmm. Brandon Clark paid his dues at
Jaren Jackson.
Jaren Jackson was they didn't let him come back. Tom Izzo said, "You got to go. You got to get this money."
Yeah, well, that's true. But he learned the year though. He got a good touring for a year.
The theme here is guys that came back and had to develop in college, or instead of just being a one and done. Mm-hmm. Even Ja Morant wasn't a one and done.
Yeah, he's 2 years. Yeah, 2 years.
But they just have a culture and these of guys that, one, play hard, and two, they're knowledgeable guys, that they're intelligent and they know how to play the game. And I think they're gonna be tough out in the playoffs, especially with the atmosphere there in Memphis.
Yeah, I think
Facts is rocking.
Go ahead, Hammer.
No, Facts is rocking, man. They're right. I mean, I'm glad my guy Taylor Jenkins came out of Milwaukee, cut his chops. They're just a solid, they're not broken down. They're just a very deep ball club. To lose Ja Morant and beat Brooklyn and beat them nicely last night after Kyrie and KD went off, I give them props. I mean, they're a well-coached ball club. I even saw them pregame, just the way you just tell the way they practice. We ain't like Allen Iverson. I believe in practice. I ain't Allen Iverson. So the bottom line, practice is important. So the bottom line is that you see practice. That's why he never won a chip too. You see practice and they're just well schooled, like Darnell said, veteran players who really learn the game in college and really develop their games, and well coached and just again and well put together. Look at the roster stat. The roster is nice. Steven Adams was a nice pickup. They put a nice roster together, of pieces together to really fit unlike my Bulls, who didn't do that. So again, I give him mad props. And you know, Ja, I guess he's going to be evaluating in a couple weeks. Let him rest. Bring him back, and then he'll be just killing it. So let him rest. Don't bring him back too soon. Let him have a setback.
I think we're gonna have a great NBA playoffs. I think it's gonna be, in some ways, feeling like you know, kind of like college basketball, because I think there's so many different questions about teams, and you can go with each team, and there's going to be a question about them, and you know, even when you think about someone like Phoenix and how Chris Paul might come back, and you know, even though Booker is holding it down, you can see it. You know, you see Denver trying to round out a little bit. You know, you start to look out east, and you know, everybody's talking about everybody, but Milwaukee just slowly Milwaukee's pulling themselves together, but Boston has been on a run since January. And the way that they're playing and defending, you know, I'm looking forward to the playoffs, man. In terms of seeing what happens with these teams, and so I know we're going to be tracking it as we go. You listen to RSG One Mic. We want to thank our sponsors, Bowman Medical Group and Mind Match Development for being our sponsors for this episode. Please go to RSG. RealSportsGuys.com for all our content. You can get Real Sports Guys on all social media platforms. You can get some of our archive material, audio material on the podcast platform. I'm here with my man Darnell Kirkland Jr. and my man Chicago Southside's best man, our man Carl Hampton, and we have a lot of fun here. The energy's going. We're gonna pivot a little bit, you know, because we got March Madness, and you know we got the RG Tourney Challenge. And as I said, you know, my brackets are officially paperweights. That's about it. You know, and we was looking
All of
for
ours, bro. All of ours.
we were looking for Hammer to come. We just, oh my goodness. And
Hammer's still by. Everybody losing. So I mean, Hammer's still by.
yeah,
Everybody losing, man.
I'm just enjoying it
I mean,
now.
Arizona losing right now. Duke losing right now. So
I
you know,
mean,
shoot. I still might be in the cut. You don't know.
You got these cats is like this is CCRB. We at the park. Like some of these other teams are playing like this is the park. And we don't respect you. We don't think you really who you are. I mean, cats is coming to the gym like, you know, a cat from St. Peter's is like, we just ball. We from Jersey and New York. You got, you know, the only cats that's playing the Rough Riders is Villanova. They out here playing, and that boy Gillespie is like something else. I should have known, but you know, Jay Rice messed me up too many times. Anyway, and then the Zags. I said this at the beginning of the year. I said if they don't win this, and I hate it because I love Mark Few. Had a chance to interview him. He's gonna be on that can't trust it list, man. The pressure going on. He on that can't trust it list, man.
Gonzaga, you know what Gonzaga reminds me of? You know what Gonzaga reminds me of?
Who?
Gonzaga is that Catholic school team they're that Catholic team that when the hood team comes in, they don't know how to respond. It's like when River Rouge come in, when Romulus come in, they might not have a D1 player on their team, but they're gonna be on you for 4 quarters. And
the Rough Riders, yes.
They would escape against Memphis, but not to.
Baylor wasn't no Rough Rider, man. Baylor was stacked last year, so I can't.
Yeah,
Baylor
like
came Buffalo Bills. Like the Buffalo Bills, they just can't win the big game, man. They just cannot. I mean, they've got the most wins. They showed the stat, the most wins in the past 5-6 years.
But I think Darnell's onto something. So those games they lose, cats get physical with them, get up in them, and there's no response to that. Like there's none in those games. It's easily a game of will. It comes down to a game of will. Like Arkansas game was a game of will. It was like offensive rebound, loose balls. It was getting pushed out the way, and nobody. I looked at for the Zags. I was like, who's that dog? Not even Timmy was that dog. Like nobody was responding, and that happened against Baylor last year. It's like they find these rough riding teams, and I don't know what it is, man, but they on that can't trust it list, man. I can't even say it. I gotta let them go. I gotta let them go, man. I gotta let them go. Yeah. So who are we looking at? We got Arizona down.
Yeah. I'll never pick them again.
Darnell, you and I saw Houston in Vegas. Them were some dogs. Now, Wisconsin stood up to them, but you and I both said, boy, these some rough riders, right? Did we say it? And they're doing it. So who do you like right now, given what we're seeing right now? Who do you like right now, Darnell? And I'll go to you, Ham, given what we're seeing.
Well, it's still Houston for me, but another team is Villanova. I think Villanova has a chance to make a run at it because they do a lot of things the right way. It's like they mix the two. Like I said, they have that Catholic school aspect, but they have more grit. I think they have more grit than Gonzaga does.
Yeah, they got that, but with that Philly twist, right? Like you ain't gonna dog with us, you ain't gonna push us, right? It's like I said, it's like they begin their preseason by Jay Wright taking them to the park in North Philly, and if they come back alive, then they can play on the team. That's kind of how I think he do it, and they play like that. We gonna be fun on me side, but you ain't pushing us around. Hamber, who do you like, man? I know you. Who you looking at, man, right now?
Purdue all day. Purdue all day. And, you know, Purdue all day, even though
you going with the alternate can't trust your
Travion Williams' family.
Okay.
No, well, again.
You look right now.
Again, yeah. I like Purdue, man. I like Jaden Ivey is going to ball out. He's unstoppable. He's, like I said, he's the poor, not so poor Ja Morant as far as his ability, and he's gonna break it down. The bigs with Edie, they got. I like. They're so deep, and like I said, I think they're gonna finally put it together, man. They're gonna finally put it together.
Darnell, I don't know if you remember this. I don't know if that was
they used to call Duke used to be on the can't trust the list. Remember, Duke used to be on the can't trust the list. Now we were younger, but Duke used to be able to can't trust it.
You're right.
Eventually, Purdue's gonna break through.
But I can't get something out of my head.
Purdue's gonna break through now.
I can't get something out of my head. Darnell, you remember when we was in the Maui Invitational? I don't know if it was Greg Gard who said this after they beat him, or it might have been Greg Gard who said this. That he said the one thing they understood about Houston is if you let them get on a roll, you can't stop them. I don't know if he said that in the press conference. He said they smell blood in the water. He basically was saying that. And as I look at this Arizona game.
He was saying that you had to start first.
Yep. he said
Houston, you got to get off to a good start and once you get behind, you're gonna be in trouble.
they'll put 100 on you, right? And I remember him saying that, and I was like, "You right? You got to get them early, because once they get rolling, and I see Arizona kind of letting them get going, I'm like, uh-oh." So Purdue, I think you onto something, Hammer.
Tommy Lloyd covered the can't trust the program, so yeah.
But Hammer, I think you on something with Purdue because you got to have one guy when everything breaks down can make something happen no matter what, and they got that guy.
They got that guy, man.
I just can't psychologically get over the top with them. And maybe you're right. You know, for a long time that was Coach K, and maybe this is the breakthrough for Painter. But he's let me down too many times, and I just can't. I don't know what to do with him. So I'm going to try. I'm going to try to do it. Texas Tech is a hard team to play. I mean, I thought, with the transition of coach and everything else
right now. They're a good ball club. They're well coached, man. Well coached.
But we ain't saying it about Kansas.
That's one thing about the college game that said it's so good.
If you look at the most, given what
but they won titles, so I can't say can't trust.
They won titles. Kansas.
They won a title.
Huh? Kansas might be the team.
That's very talented. Well, I'm in the Final Four. I mean, I just think that, again, what I've seen right now, I think I like Purdue right now.
You like Purdue, man?
From the play right now, I like Purdue.
I can't even get back at you because it's been so crazy. But you know how I feel about Purdue, boy. I tried. Boy, I tried. I'm the one that
lose tomorrow. I mean, the thing about it's great about college basketball. The thing about great about college basketball is that you got St. Peter's in the Sweet 16 is beautiful, man. And it shows you how, again, the way the game is crafted, you can be a St. Peter's and you can beat. I mean, that's why people love the college game. There is a lot of equity until you get to, the Elite Eights or Final Fours. Loyola made the Final Four. So, I mean, you get to that you have equity most of the George Mason with Larinaga.
Yeah.
15 years ago. I remember that run. I was living in DC. So, but you don't see it in NBA. You don't see that. You can't come in with no St. Peter's and be the Pistons ain't beating ain't beating the Bucks this year. It happened. So I mean, the bottom line, I hate to put your Pistons down, but
although the Pistons
Boston came back, so
Pistons got winning records against their best records against winning teams.
Pistons have a good young nucleus.
But yeah, they ain't beating them in no 3 or 5 game series. You're right.
No, I like the young nucleus. They got some nice young players, man.
I mean, when you think about Miami,
be a nice team eventually.
Even think about Miami, it's like they winning, but they ain't hit no threes. They hit like twos. They got like when you look at their like the statistics on it, it's like how are they winning, but they winning. That's what's great about the college game. Like people just figure out their style and they win, and you can't even explain it. You just like, man, this I don't even know how they did this. And so it's wonderful to kind of see this going. I mean, this is going to be I just got to the point right now. I'm just enjoying the games. I ain't working on winning no brackets. Yeah, I'm just going to enjoy the games and kind of get it going. But the madness is gone. The brackets have been busted. We're going to be giving out the belt. I do got to make sure I get my boy Hammer his belt. I am working on that because you've earned it from last year. We're going to get it. We got to figure out my boy Mo up here, a Red Insurance Group is leading the charge. He's going to try and go home with the first belt that's in the mail. I think next week I'll probably reveal the belt on the air. I'll probably have it over my shoulder because that's the only time I'm going to hold it, given the fact that I'm bringing up the rear like Sergeant York. I mean, I ain't never been this bad like you've been around me, Hammer. I'm always lurking around. I have never had like this. I got to regroup. I got to fire some people. I got to do something, but I'm not coming back.
You pick a lot of upsets? What happened? I know you're playing. You pick a lot of upsets or what?
I look at my picks and they make sense. And I'm looking at it and they make sense. But where I messed up is I bought into the Iowa Kool-Aid.
No.
Iowa got me. I got to that Virginia Tech.
I told you about Wisconsin too.
I should not have gotten to the Virginia Tech thing. I try to outthink the room. I'll try to outthink a room on a couple of things, that I shouldn't have tried to outthink the room. A couple of areas I did all right, but I bit too much on Wisconsin. I drank a little bit more Kool-Aid. But I, the thing about the Wisconsin game is the point guard got hurt. That turned their whole game around. Once he went out,
I told you Wisconsin went out.
They couldn't get in their offense, so I couldn't predict that the
point guard. That's true. But I think it's still a loss with Tepper. No, I think it's still a loss.
I think they were playing well. I think he would have really helped them.
Terrible.
I think he would have really helped them if he wouldn't have got hurt. But obviously they didn't make it. So I didn't pick Michigan to go as far as they went. They won a couple games.
Illinois, you went Illinois too.
Yeah,
had them running a couple games, didn't you?
No, I listened to you about Illinois. I think I listened to you about Illinois.
Okay, good.
You said enough about Illinois. I said I ain't gonna mess with that. I'm gonna take Hammer lives in the state of Illinois.
They talk about Kofi so bad.
I'm gonna take his opinion on Illinois. I think I might have honored the Illinois thing.
You got here. They talk so bad about Kofi here. They diss Kofi so bad here. It's sad, man. It's sad when you local radio and they dissing his game's not completed. And he's got they dissed the brother badly local radio here. I'm like, dang, we in Illinois. And they dissing the dude hard. Talking about he knows he should. Kendall Gill's talking about him, basically saying he knows he should come back to school.
He probably
his game's not ready for NBA.
He probably should.
Oh, he's telling the truth. This ain't 1995.
Yep.
Oh, you need to come back, man. Or you need to transfer.
And also they just need a much more. They just need a better offensive system. They need they got to do some things offensively. They play hard defensively, but I feel like their offense is too stagnant, too focused on him, not using him as much as a decoy as they probably should use him. Other guys got to be a little.
Well, the problem is his game is too limited. That's why his game is too limited. I mean, he can basically he's the biggest guy on the floor. He's unstoppable that way, but he can't shoot a mid-range jumper. He's not depth as far as he's not mobile and nimble. There's a lot, like I said, he looks great as far as a college player. I mean, he's gonna probably be obviously he's a Wooden finalist, right? I presume. But but you look at his NBA game, they ain't giving no NBA money, man. Heck no.
And I would say
you see how these bigs are.
I would say that if you watch
What?
the Big Ten closely, the Big Ten beat each other up. You could tell they took a toll coming down
Yeah.
the stretch here. The Big Ten beat each other up big time down the stretch,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and I just don't think some of these teams didn't have the depth. I mean, it was the Big Ten down the stretch got real physical, like literally got physical, and so I think a lot of these teams took some hits down the But what I love about it is you got so much of this. Some of these teams that they got these older guys. I mean, some of these teams they look like they got ages.
Yeah.
They older than some of these NBA teams. Average age
Yeah.
on some of these teams, and so
Miami got like three guys of 24 years,
yeah,
one from shot. Yeah.
guys
24 years old, bro.
guys who should be in law
24 years
school.
old.
3
or 4 schools, man. 3 or 4 schools.
So
3 or 4 schools, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So the pandemic, man.
Look at the guy from Miami.
I didn't account for that. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to find a way to do some more research on some of these teams down the stretch of the season. I got to start watching some of these conference tournaments a little bit more than I have been.
Man, you just had a bad year, bro. We all have a bad year. You don't come back and win the thing next year, man.
But if you would have told me
where's the D-Wills? Where's the confidence? D-Wills. I never heard D-Wills like this before.
Yeah.
And you heard D-Wills down himself, man. What, bro? Things happen, bro.
The only bright spot is I have to check it out. But my partner's in the tournament, and she's doing well. She might be the only bright spot in the house right now.
Oh, she
huh?
She talked bad. She was trying to jump by you. She's like, I'm beating you out.
Yeah, we know that's like, okay. I celebrated. I feel honored. At least somebody in the house is winning, because I know I'm not. I can just give out the belt to somebody. But next year we got to get Darnell in the right tournament, not the other one. We got to get him in this one. We probably could have saved our league if we'd have got him over here with us.
You confused him, brother. You text him all the time. You should text him. All you have to do is text him both things, man.
I thought I did.
Both things. You didn't text him.
I was so busy that week.
You didn't, Darnell. He didn't text him, did he?
I should have seen y'all in the text. But I think I said both in the text. He probably he clicked on the one that was most recent.
You said the RSG only. You said you didn't send the link. You said do this cheat integrity. You didn't send the link, but I check email. So
but I'll make sure he's there next year, because we need him in the mix. We need to get as many as we can, because if Mo win, boy, we're gonna hear nothing but that for the rest of the year. And he's like, I not only not sponsoring you, but sadly, we say.
Yeah, well,
Rock Vegas winning.
Aaron Rodgers owns us, but he owns us.
All right, y'all.
Like Aaron Rodgers and Bears, he owns us.
All right, y'all. We having a good time here. It's been good with y'all. We're gonna drop the mic on this one. We'll hit Hammer, then me, and then we'll let the youngin' take us home.
Yeah, thanks a lot. What we learned this year from the NFL season and the Rams winning is that you have to give away the future for the present. In these times of the pandemic, in these times of uncertainty, you need to have certainty. You need to have proven commodities that you trade for, not suspects, not could be's, not might be's, not should be's. And so, again, I thought the key in sports was, again, following what was successful. I thought that was the key. I thought sports was about trends. So why are the Kansas City Chiefs and the poor people of Kansas City getting, again, basically bamboozled by their team, the only team in the area, by trading away their best player for 6 suspects? It makes no sense. I mean, I saw a deal and I literally, I had to do a double take. I had to clear my glass. I take my glass off and clear my glasses and be like, they're trying to be the smartest guy in the room, and they're not trying the tried and true. They trade away. Tampa Bay got a bunch of veterans last year. That's the style thing right now. All these teams that are playing the game with the points on the draft picks and all this mess. They ain't holding no Lombardi trophy. The team's holding the Lombardi trophy. The team that is going all in, like we say, putting all the chips in with the guys who have proven. It's like going playing poker with a novice. You don't play poker with a guy who won a bunch of hands. You play poker with the novice. I don't play with the proven winner. And so that's why I think the Tyreek Hill deal is one of the worst deals I've ever seen. I'm not a Kansas City fan, but I feel bad. Brother Mahomes, he will never win another Super Bowl. Never. I'll say it right now. Never. NEVER. Never win another Super Bowl. Drop the mic.
Hey, I remember a story somebody shared about Dean Smith, looking out on the floor and almost having the shakes when he realized his future was being determined by 18 to 21-year-olds making the right decision. And that's what makes March Madness so great. In the pandemic, we have people with extra years. We got all kinds of things going on, whether it's upset of Baylor women's basketball, where, you can see on the women's side, the gap is beginning to close. Like upsets that you normally would never see are happening, especially, and some of these are happening on people's home courts. You're seeing it happen in the women's game, and what we're seeing happen, in the men's tournament. Makes this a special time of year because you just don't know what people are going to do when the lights come on. You just don't know. We've endured pandemics. We endured players playing in front of, no crowds. And now, this is, the first time in a couple of years that we're, feeling like we have in this time. And, we're weeks away from that, when they cut down the nets and that music starts to play. And they crown a champion on the men's side and they crown a champion on the women's side. And all the effort and work that these young people put into the game and, the stars that are made. And for most of them, this will be the best it'll get. They're not going to go on and play at the other levels. They're not going to be able to have success beyond this time. And so I just cherish this time, this time of the year to enjoy it. So, your brackets might be busted, but I would say don't get caught up in that. Just enjoy this ride and celebrate these young folks who are trying to, climb their way to the dream and all those hours that they put in to get to that top point, to that top of the mountain where they can all, be part of that special video that we all enjoy when the season comes to an end. I'm dropping the mic and handing it off to my youngin.
All right, my drop the mic is the antithesis of Carl drop the mic. You got to trust the process. You got to trust your process. You can't always you can't fly by night. You can't always go by what the next man's doing. Because if you try to follow who's winning, you're going to be following somebody else every single year. And you ain't never going to get nowhere yourself. So you got to stick to you got to trust the process. You got to figure out what works for you and just keep grinding. And one day, you'll get there. It doesn't matter what you do. You're talking about football, basketball. You're talking about your job that you go to every day. Your business that you're working on the side. Find your formula, trust the process, and hold for the long term. And investments too. You don't always want to follow the trend. You don't always want to have that fear of missing out. That's what they call it, FOMO. Everybody they see the next trend, they try to hop on it, they try to buy high, and they see that the stocks start going down, and they sell it, and then they be like, "Oh, I lost money," and then they get out the game. But no, you got to find the formula, you got to do your due diligence, you got to study, and I think the same thing goes for the Kansas City Chiefs. They turn their biggest asset into multiple assets, and if they do their due diligence, if they study, if they grind the tape, they'll be able to make out because they'll be able to find guys that fit their system and guys that will fill out their roster. Because one thing I was trying to say during the show is there's a salary cap, right? So if you can't pay everybody, the max amount of money. So if you pay all these guys at the highest of their position group, I mean, the rest of your roster is just going to be fillers. and you're going to see what happened last year in the playoffs. But now you turn Tyreek Hill, one of the best players in the league. I'm not doubting that. I know he's great. I believe in him myself. But if you turn him into 6 starters, you could possibly. I'm not gonna say they're guaranteed to win, but they'll be a more complete team come next year if they play their cards the right way. And another thing I gotta say is boxing. Boxing is heating up. Um, we got Spence and Ugas coming up in next month in April. We have Shakur Stevenson versus Oscar Valdez coming up next month as well. I'm hearing news that possibly Terrence Crawford might be coming to PBC. I heard an announcement might be imminent that he's signing a two fight deal with PBC. That's very good news. Hopefully that's Keith Thurman and Errol Spence. And there's a lot of stuff to look forward to. This is Darnell. I'm dropping the mic.
Peace, y'all. Till next time.